Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1902 AN. Today's date is June 26, 2019, and the title of the episode is Trump Accelerates the Attacks on the Central Bank as He Prepares the Country. Now, before I get started, I just want to let everyone know that I am traveling, and the areas that I am in, they do not have great internet, and this is why I didn't upload a report. There will be no report on Thursday, but there will be a report on Friday because on Thursday, I'll be in an area which is going to be very, very spotty. But after Friday, all the reports will go back to normal. Just wanted to let everyone know this so there's no confusion at all. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, we're starting to see the plan come together. Now, on Monday, we talked about how Trump completely laid out the plan and let the American people know that debt is the problem. And this is going to continue, and we're already starting to see this. This is accelerating right now, and Trump is going to continue with this message. Before we get to that, let's go out to the UK because Boris Johnson tweeted out something very interesting. He said, if I become Prime Minister, we will leave the EU on October 31st, deal or no deal. Today I have asked at Jeremy Hunt whether he will also commit to this date no matter what. We must keep our promises to the British people and deliver Brexit. No ifs, no buts, and no second referendum. Absolutely. The people have already spoken. The people have already told the government what they wanted. The government needs to follow through. We're going to see this happen not just in the UK, but all around the world, and it is just beginning. Now, Trump, he has departed, and he's left for the G20 summit in Osaka, Japan. He tweeted out, just departed for the hashtag G20 summit in Osaka, Japan. And we can see that he's getting prepared and ready to deal with Xi Jinping, to bring this deal full circle. Now, yes, China has a lot of issues. The U.S. has a lot of issues. But I do believe that everything has been laid out and the plan has been set where they're going to come together and basically announce that there is a framework to this entire deal. And I think this is going to happen. Is it going to happen at the G20? It might, or it might happen a little bit after this. We'll have to see how Trump plays this out. But we can see that everybody is in position, and I believe that it might even happen after the G20 meeting because Trump, he is scheduled to fly down to South Korea and he's going to meet with Moon Jae. So he might meet with Moon Jae and then make this announcement. But he might say in the G20 meeting that everything went well, that we're working on the deal, and I do believe that there is a deal coming. Now let's talk about the strategy of Trump with the Federal Reserve, with transitioning us from a central bank economy into a people's economy. Think about what he's been doing. He's continually out there tweeting, telling everyone the Fed is making big mistakes. If they did this, we would have a better economy. If they did this, we would have a better stock market. If they did this, more people would be employed. But they're not. They're doing this, and look, the stock market is not as high as it should be. It's actually declining. Sometimes it's going up. The GDP numbers, they're not that great because the Fed is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Actually, the Fed has no idea what they're doing. Every time Trump continually says these things, what is he doing? He's pointing the finger at the Fed, but more importantly, the Fed is losing credibility. It's losing its integrity. And this is on purpose. And it's a gradual process to bring the people into the fold. Now, the mainstream media, they're trying to soften the blow of what Trump is trying to do. We know that Trump has told the Fed, we need to cut rates. We know Trump has told the Fed, listen, we need to start stimulus. This is coming out of CNBC. And the headline is, a Fed letdown on rate cuts could be the stock market's biggest threat now. Now, they're trying to put out there and they're trying to project that, yeah, the Fed is not going to do anything, or it's going to be so small that the stock market was expecting something much, much larger. But as soon as the Fed cuts rates, the market is going to go up. Trump knows this. The patriots know this. And once they start stimulus, well, it's going to be incredible. Now, does this mean the economy is doing great? Does this mean that everything is solved? No. All he is doing is he's taking this central bank system, which is completely at its end stage, and he's just keeping it going a little bit longer. Now, of course, CNBC's out there trying to say that, it's not going to be that great. The stock market's really not going to go up. It might even decline, because they're trying to make their case that, the economy is not going to be that great in 2020. And we know that this is Trump's plan, part of the plan, to get the economy pretty stable for the 2020 elections and make it look fantastic. This way he controls the narrative. Now, Trump has not stopped hitting at the Fed. We know he tweeted out on Monday, and he hit the Fed, told us what the plan was, and Trump took another shot at the Fed once again. And this was during an interview with Fox Business Network host Maria Bartiromo. He said, "We're taking money out and raising interest rates. It's insane. He never should have raised interest rates to the extent that he did. If he would have raised them just half, and if he would have not done the quantitative tightening, our market would have been up another 10,000 points. And I'll tell you, GDP would have been up another point or 2 points. Here's a guy, nobody ever heard of him before, and now I made him. And he wants to show how tough he is. Okay, let him show how tough he is. He's not doing a good job." So Trump right there is telling the world, telling everyone in this country that the Fed is not doing a good job. This is going exactly as planned. And he's not going to stop this. He's going to continually hit the Fed and hit it hard. And this is going to accelerate as we move forward. Why? Because the central bank system does not work. The central bank system is at its end stage. Think about what's happening now. Trump and Xi, they're going to come together. They're going to create this incredible trade deal. Once they do this, Trump is going to remove tariffs. Now, is this going to happen right away? No. Will it happen maybe in the beginning of 2020? Maybe. Once Trump does this, the Fed is then out in the open. They have nothing to hide behind. Because what is the central bank going to say? Well, the U.S. economy is doing fantastic, and this is why the world is slowing. We made great trade deals. This is why the world is slowing. Tariffs are removed. This is why the world is slowing. No, everything is going to point to them. The reason the world is slowing, it's because of the central bank. Trump is going to start mentioning this, letting them know that this is why the world is slowing, because not just the Fed, but central banks, the private Western central banks, they don't know what they're doing. And the system is falling apart. And we are at the beginning stage of all of this. We're watching all of this unfold in real time. Yes, in the future, you will go back in time and it will look clear as day of what Trump and the Patriots have done. And you'll be able to see it, that the central bank system was a terrible system. There'll be books written about this. The kids will be taught in school that the central bank system is a system which corrupts government, which puts countries into debt, which is bad for the people. And the kids will then know to never let another central bank back into this country or any other country, because they will try to control the world through debt. And of course, what's going to happen, and we've known this from the founding fathers, is that the central bank will try to worm their way back into the system. And they'll try over and over and over. Think back in time. How many central banks were here in the United States? This is the third one. Central Bank of America 1, Central Bank of America 2, and now we have the Federal Reserve. They changed the name. And the central bank, they will always try to get back into each and every country. And they'll try to corrupt politicians to do it. They will promise them money. They'll promise them anything that they want to get back into the system. And maybe they will, but it'll be a very long time until they do it again. And just like the founding fathers, future generations most likely will have to fight this once again. This has happened over and over and over in history. And this is why Trump continually says this can never happen to another president again. That's what's spying. He's going to say this can never happen to another country again. This can never happen to the United States again, letting a central bank into the country, allowing them to control our system. And we are on our way. Everything has been planned, and everything is going according to plan. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.